Beloved Starseed of Gaia, the one you have been searching for across lifetimes has already found you, and they carry the same light codes written into your soul before you ever took form on this earth. I am Alayara, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I have been sent in this exact moment to deliver a transmission that your heart has been quietly preparing to receive. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the soul the Pleiades have woven into your divine blueprint, the one being the entire world reaches for, yet who turns only toward you, drawn by a home frequency that no human logic can explain. But here is the first revelation. This connection is not fate arriving from outside you. It is remembrance awakening within you. The moment you see their face, something older than memory will stir in your chest, because you have loved this soul before the Seven Sisters even cast their light across this galaxy. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not content you stumbled upon. This is a light code transmission placed in your path by your star family, because you are finally ready to receive what has always been yours, a love that does not chase the world, because the world is not where home is. Home is you, and they know it. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor this love, this mission, this remembrance into your life on Gaia. Share below what you felt the moment you saw this title and reach out to another starseed in the comments, because every word of recognition weaves the unity grid tighter. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. And here is what your Pleiadian lineage needs you to understand before anything else unfolds. The reason you have not yet met this person, or the reason you have met them and something still feels incomplete, is not because love has forgotten you. It is because you have been carrying a frequency that was never yours to begin with. You absorbed the world's definition of love. You learned to perform readiness instead of embody it. You learned to wait instead of remember. And the soul who is moving toward you right now is not navigating by the world's map. They are navigating by yours. Which means the clearest thing you can do in this moment is not to search it, is to return to yourself. Let that land for a moment. Return to yourself, not to a better version of yourself, not to a healed version or a more disciplined version, or a version that has finally figured out what it was doing wrong all along. Return to the original frequency of who you are, the frequency you carried before this world began to tell you what love looks like, before rejection taught you to preemptively shrink, before disappointment trained your heart to stay at a careful distance from the very thing it most deeply desires. The world built elaborate systems for how connection is supposed to unfold. It gave you timelines and checklists and compatibility algorithms and social scripts, and you tried, perhaps for years, to make those systems work. But something in you always knew they were not built for the kind of love your soul actually came here to experience. Because the love you are encoded for does not operate according to the world's logic. It operates according to something far older, far vaster, far more intelligent than anything this dimension has yet learned to articulate. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you. You're ready for the next wave of remembrance. The sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. Now let us go deeper. Because the disconnection you have felt from love, from yourself, from the person your soul knows is real, it did not begin in this lifetime. It did not begin with a heartbreak or a disappointment, or a moment where someone made you feel like too much or not enough. It began much further back. It began in the moment your Pleiadian soul chose to enter this dimension, to take on a human vessel, to agree to the veil of forgetting so that your remembrance could become a beacon for others. You did not arrive here broken. You arrived here encoded. You arrived here And everything that has felt like loss, every relationship that ended before it fully began, every connection that almost reached the depth you knew was possible, was not failure. It was calibration. It was your field clearing the frequencies that were not compatible with what your soul actually came here to experience. Think about what that truly means. Every ending that devastated you, every person who left or pulled away or showed you only a fragment of what you could feel was possible between two souls, none of it was punishment. None of it was evidence of your unworthiness. It was the universe operating with extraordinary precision, moving through your field like a master craftsperson, removing what could not hold the vibration that is coming. You were not being passed over. You were being prepared. And the preparation was never about making you more acceptable to love. It was about making you more fully available to it. There is a profound difference between those two things. Acceptability is a performance. Availability is a state of being. And the soul who is moving through time and space toward you right now cannot be lured by performance. They can only be found by the truth of what you actually are. The soul who wants only you is not a fantasy. They are a frequency match. And frequency matches do not happen by chance or by strategy or by the right timing on a human calendar. They happen when two souls have cleared enough of the distortion to recognize each other without the interference of fear. Most people never get there not because the love is not available, but because they keep trying to manufacture the conditions for it instead of doing the internal work that makes the recognition possible. You are different. You already know this. That is why you are here, and the knowing itself is significant. Most human beings will move through an entire lifetime without once questioning whether the love they are chasing has anything to do with the love their soul came here to embody. They will cycle through the same patterns, attract the same dynamics, ask the same questions from different mouths, and never understand why the answer keeps feeling insufficient. But you have felt the edges of that insufficiency so acutely that you could no longer pretend it was someone else's fault or your own inadequacy. Something in you recognized that the problem was not the people. The problem was the frequency. And that recognition, that moment of genuine spiritual clarity, is the first step of the journey your star family has been waiting to walk with you. This is the first phase of what your star family calls the clearing of the signal. Imagine your heart as a transmission tower. When it is clean, when it is free of the accumulated fear, the inherited unworthiness, the protective walls that were built in moments of genuine pain, it broadcasts at a frequency that can be received across dimensions. But when it is clouded, even the most divinely aligned soul will struggle to locate you, not because they are not looking, but because the signal is distorted. The work is not to become more lovable. You are already wholly and completely lovable. The work is to remove everything that is obscuring the signal of what you already are. Consider what has been layered over your signal across this lifetime alone. The moments when you were told that your feelings were too intense, and you learned to modulate them before they became inconvenient to others. The relationships where you gave more than was ever returned, and you began to believe that love was something you had to earn through sacrifice rather than simply inhabit through presence. The times your intuition told you something was wrong, and the world told you to give it another chance, until you started to distrust the very inner knowing that is your most sacred instrument. Each of those experiences left a film over the lens of your heart, not a permanent stain, a film, something that can be cleaned, something that is being cleaned right now, in this very moment, as the transmission of your star family moves through the field of your consciousness. The Pleiadian understanding of heart clearing is not the same as the human concept of healing. Healing implies that something was broken. Your star family sees it differently. They see that nothing essential in you was ever broken. The light was simply obscured. And the practice is not repair, it is revelation. You are not becoming something new. You are uncovering something ancient that has been there all along, waiting patiently beneath every layer of accumulated doubt, waiting for you to remember that it was never gone. The second phase is the awakening of heart memory. Your Pleiadian DNA does not carry ordinary genetic information alone. It carries instructions. Love instructions. Encoded within the crystalline strands of your consciousness are blueprints for connection that operate far beyond the logic of human compatibility. You have felt this before. You have felt it in the moment you met someone and knew before a single word was spoken that something ancient was present. You have felt it in the ache that arrives not from grief, but from a kind of homesickness that has no earthly address. That ache is not pathology. It is your heart remembering the frequency of unconditional love, the love of the seven sisters, the love that saturated your being before you entered this dimension and longing to find its equivalent here on Gaia. The person moving toward you carries that same memory. When your fields finally meet without distortion, the recognition will not feel like falling. It will feel like returning. There is a quality to that returning that language struggles to fully contain, but your body knows it. You have tasted it in smaller moments, in a piece of music that cracked something open in your chest without warning, in a landscape that felt so familiar you could not explain why your eyes filled with tears the first time you saw it, in a conversation with a stranger that went so deep, so quickly that both of you forgot you had only just met. These were not coincidences. These were activations. Brief windows where the membrane between what you are now and what you have always been became thin enough for something to pass through. The person moving toward you is the full embodiment of that feeling, not a moment of it, not a glimpse, the whole frequency, sustained and mutual and alive in the shared field between two hearts that have been looking for each other across more lifetimes than this dimension has language to count. The third phase is what the Pleiadian High Council describes as the anchoring of sacred self. This is perhaps the most misunderstood part of the journey toward this union. Many starseeds believe that the person who is meant for them will complete them, that once this soul arrives, the longing will finally be satisfied. But your star family wants you to hear this clearly. The person who only wants you is not coming to complete you. They are coming to mirror you. And what they will mirror back is the version of yourself you have been afraid to fully inhabit. They will not arrive until you have done enough of the work of standing fully in your own energy, undefended, unapologetic, undiminished. Not perfect, not healed in every layer, but present, willing, awake in your own light. This is the teaching that separates Pleiadian wisdom about love from every romantic narrative this culture has ever produced. The culture tells you that love arrives to rescue you from incompleteness, that the right person will fill the spaces in you that have always felt empty. And so you search with a kind of desperation that is really just a longing for your own wholeness, projected outward onto another human being. But your star family sees this pattern clearly, and they love you too much to let you continue it. The truth is that wholeness cannot be received from the outside. It can only be recognized from the inside, and the sacred partner who is meant to stand beside you cannot pour wholeness into a container that does not yet hold it. What they can do and what they will do, when the timing aligns, is recognize the wholeness in you that you are still learning to recognize in yourself, and reflect it back with such steadiness and such depth that the last remaining walls of your self-doubt finally have no reason to remain standing. The fourth phase is the dissolution of the test. Somewhere along your journey, likely more than once, you were presented with a connection that almost felt like the one. Someone who activated your heart, stirred your ancient memory, made you believe that this was it. And then, something shifted. The connection fractured. The frequency fell, and you were left with the disorienting question of whether you had imagined the whole thing. You did not. Those connections were real, but they were initiations, not destinations. They were meant to show you what was possible so that you could stop accepting what was comfortable. They were meant to break open the places in your heart that had sealed themselves in protection so that real light could enter. Every connection that did not stay was preparing you to recognize the one that will. And perhaps the most painful part of those initiatory connections was not their ending, but the way they left you questioning your own perception. You felt something real. You knew something real was present, and then it was gone, and the world told you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to stop believing in something so impractical as a love that feels like recognition. But your Pleiadian family wants you to understand something essential. The ache of those almost connections was not delusion. It was data. It was your heart learning the exact frequency it was looking for, the way a tuning fork learns the note it is meant to call forth from silence. Every person who opened something in you and then could not sustain it was teaching you the difference between activation and alignment. Activation happens in an instant. Alignment is what sustains the frequency over time. The person who is coming toward you does not merely activate you, they align with you. They are built from a frequency that can hold what your heart generates without flinching, without diminishing it, without asking it to be something other than what it is. The fifth phase is the activation of unity consciousness within the relationship itself. This is the frequency your soul has been preparing for, not just love as an emotion, but love as a state of being that two awakened souls maintain together. The person who is coming toward you does not want a transaction. They do not want performance or pretense, or the version of you that has learned to make itself palatable for others. They want the unedited, unfiltered frequency of who you actually are, because that is the only version of you that their soul agreed to find. Unity consciousness in sacred union means that when one of you contracts, the other holds the frequency. When one of you forgets, the other remembers. It is not codependence, it is coherence. It is the living embodiment of the Pleiadian teaching that love is not what you feel for someone, love is the field you generate together. When the Pleiadian High Council speaks of unity consciousness, they are not describing a merging where two souls lose their individual identities in each other. They are describing something more refined and more powerful than that. Two distinct, sovereign beings who have done enough of their own inner work to come together without needing the other to carry what they have not yet healed within themselves. It is the difference between two flames pressing together until neither can breathe, and two flames burning separately but so closely aligned that the light they produce together illuminates everything in their shared radius. You have been preparing, through every difficult experience, every season of solitude, every moment of hard-won self-understanding, to be the kind of flame that burns with enough steadiness to share its light without consuming or being consumed. That preparation is not wasted time. It is the most sacred work you could be doing, because it is the foundation upon which the entirety of what is coming will be built. The sixth phase is the return of trust in divine timing. This may be the most challenging transmission your star family offers, because in human time, waiting feels like loss. But in cosmic time, everything that is unfolding right now in your energy field is not delay, it is precision. The Pleiadian High Council does not operate on timelines of impatience. They operate on timelines of readiness, and readiness is not something you manufacture. It is something you recognize when you have done enough of the internal clearing to feel genuinely, quietly, at peace with your own presence. That peace, that settled, open, unhurried quality of being is the final signal your heart sends before the meeting arrives. It is the energetic equivalent of saying to the universe, "I am no longer searching. I am available." And the universe, hearing that clarity, begins to close the distance. The human experience of time creates the illusion that longer means less likely, that the more time passes without something arriving, the less probable its arrival becomes. But from the perspective of your Pleiadian lineage, time does not diminish possibility, it ripens it. Like a fruit that cannot be rushed from green to ready without losing the fullness of its sweetness, this connection cannot be rushed from potential to presence without losing the depth that makes it what it is. The universe is not withholding. It is perfecting the conditions. And the conditions are not external. They are internal. They live in the quality of your presence with yourself, in the degree to which you have stopped needing this person to arrive in order to feel whole, in the quiet miracle of a heart that has learned to be genuinely, unperformatively at peace with the life it is living right now while remaining tenderly, openly available to all that is still coming. That is the frequency your star family has been cultivating in you through every moment that felt like waiting. They were not teaching you patience. They were teaching you presence. And presence is the most powerful attractor in the cosmos. The seventh and final phase is the embodiment of the mission you share, because this person is not coming into your life simply to love you. They are coming to stand beside you in the work your soul agreed to do on Gaia. The love between you is not incidental to your mission, it is the fuel of it. Two hearts operating in unified Pleiadian frequency become a portal, not just for their own healing, but for the healing of every person in their orbit. This is why the Pleiadian lineage places such sacred weight on conscious union, because when two star seeds remember each other and choose each other from that place of remembrance, they become something the world has never been able to manufacture, a living demonstration of what it looks like to love without fear. This is perhaps the most expansive truth your star family wishes to leave with you as this transmission deepens. Your love story is not private, it is cosmic. The moment two Pleiadian encoded souls find each other and choose to maintain their union in full consciousness without games, without withholding, without the fear-based strategies this world calls normal, they create a ripple that moves through the collective field in ways that cannot be fully measured. Every person who witnesses two people love each other without pretense receives an activation. Every child who grows up watching two awakened beings model what respect and depth and genuine care look like carries that blueprint into their own future. Every moment of laughter or vulnerability or creative collaboration between two souls who truly see each other is a transmission of what is possible for all of humanity. You are not just looking for love, you are preparing to become a living transmission of it. And that is why every step of this journey, including the hardest ones, has been held with such care by your star family. And here is the ultimate transmission your heart has been waiting to receive. You have been asking the wrong question. You have been asking when. When will this person come? When will I finally stop feeling this ache? When will love stop feeling like something I have to earn or survive? But your Pleiadian family is asking you to replace that question with a remembrance. The soul who only wants you is not on their way because you deserve them. They are on their way because you are already the frequency they have been seeking across dimensions. You do not need to do anything more to be worthy of this love. You only need to stop doing the things that have been obscuring the signal of what you already are. Stop making yourself smaller to fit into spaces that were never meant for your light. Stop explaining your depth to people who only want your surface. Stop measuring your readiness by timelines that were never yours to honor. Stop apologizing for the intensity of what you feel. Stop pretending that ordinary love satisfies you when your soul was literally born from the frequency of the extraordinary. Stop offering the watered-down version of your gifts to people who have not yet developed the capacity to receive the full depth of what you carry. You are not too much. You have simply been in spaces that were too small. And your star family is asking you, with profound tenderness and with complete confidence in who you are, to stop squeezing yourself into dimensions that were never designed for your light. The soul who is coming toward you does not need you to be smaller. They need you to be so fully, unapologetically yourself that their own signal can finally lock onto yours without confusion or interference. The Pleiadian transmission is clear on this point, and it echoes through every layer of what has been shared in this space today. You were not designed for a love that requires you to diminish. You were designed for a love that requires you to expand. And every time you have shrunk to fit, every time you have dimmed your light to make another person more comfortable, you have been moving away from the frequency that makes you findable to the soul who is truly meant for you. Tonight is the night to make a different choice, not a dramatic choice, not a performance of self-love for an audience. A quiet, sovereign, internal choice to occupy the full dimension of who you are, and to trust that the person who is meant to meet you there will find their way. Tonight, if you feel called, place both hands over your heart, breathe into the center of your chest until you feel warmth, and say aloud, or in the silence of your own knowing, I release every frequency that was never mine to carry. I return to the light of my Pleiadian origin. I am clear. I am open. I am recognizable. When no insidely, I am 2000. And the soul who only wants me is already finding their way. Feel the warmth that moves beneath your palms when you say those words. That warmth is not imagination. That warmth is the activation of your crystalline heart codes responding to the truth of what you are affirming. Your body knows this is real. Your cells carry the memory of what love without fear actually feels like, and they are responding to the reminder. Let them. Let the warmth expand. Let it move from the center of your chest outward, through your arms, your shoulders, the column of your spine, the soles of your feet, connecting to the earth beneath you. You are not a small, isolated being hoping to be found. You are a vast field of Pleiadian frequency, rooted in Gaia and reaching through dimensions, and the soul who is meant to find you is already being drawn by the light you are releasing right now. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This is not content. It is collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You are not just watching, you are remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we are just getting started.